Transformers of Eternia.
You're watching Transformers of Eternia. Now today I want to take a look at the DNA DK54 animated Optimus Prime upgrade kit. And as you can see, it looks pretty cool. But before I do that, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And thank you for checking out my channel. Now back to the show. Okay, so we got the DNA DK54 animated Optimus Prime upgrade kit. This thing looks pretty cool. I mean, look at this. The back kind of gives away everything. You get to kind of get a view of every single thing that's in the box there. You got the 2 feet and everything. You got the actual face mask. That's the thing that I actually wanted the most, because the animated Optimus Prime from the Legacy line or whatever, he had a mouth, and I don't like that because they didn't make it flip up like the original toy from the animated line. So they actually just left this out, so he didn't have his face cover, which Optimus Prime is known for. So I'm glad that they decided to put this in there and actually have this actually fit and work. That's really quite a deal. But yeah, you get these extra fists, you get the actual the fire cannon, whatever you want to call this thing. Anyway, the ladder for the fire truck or whatever. And then you get the vehicle sides, which turns into the wings, and then the jet packs and all that stuff. Anyway, you could see what I'm pointing at. So you got these guns, you got everything. And you got this hammer even, which in the future, if they do an animated Ultra Magnus, this hammer is definitely going to him, because I'm sure that Hasbro's not going to do justice to the hammer. But that being said, let's open this thing up so I can show you what's inside. Okay, so let's get this thing open. So when you get this is kind of how it's laid out. Take this box and get rid of this. Okay, so when you get this thing, this is how it's laid out inside the packaging. You get your instruction manual on how to do this, how to put everything together, because this is a parts kit basically. So you're just going to have parts. So you're going to get this, this is what it looks like. And then of course you flip it over, you can get some more stuff here. So yeah, you get all this. It tells you how to do everything. So that's a nice little kit, nice little instruction manual. But looking at the kit here, it looks pretty good. This is what it looks like in the packaging. Everything looks so nice and shiny and whatever. It's behind this plastic here that you can take off. Anyway, you got to have a razor blade, of course. Okay, so you got to have a razor blade to cut this. And you can get it open just with these 2. I think it's just these 2 spots. Anyway, yeah, so you just take this right off. Let's put this down here. So what we get is this. Trying not to tip everything and just make it spill all over the floor, because that seems like the thing you do whenever you're doing a YouTube video, especially if you're opening something. Anyway, but this is the little face mask, his little mouth shield or whatever. Anyway, and he has this, I don't know. I don't really care about this. It's like a visor, and it's got like the ears or whatever that Optimus Prime would have. Anyway, it's got like, it's like glasses basically for Optimus Prime. So moving all this stuff out here, we can just take that and just start to fit together the actual vehicle thing. So you can put these things together. I think I'm going to assemble the vehicle form first, because that's the kind of the tricky part. Because when you do the vehicle, it's kind of hard to put together like easily, at least for me. So I'm just going to put the vehicle together off camera, and then I will just get right back to you and kind of show you. This is Optimus Prime, or animated Optimus Prime, in his full glory in vehicle form here. This whole thing drives me nuts. I don't like this. I don't think it looks good. I think they could have done a lot better with this thing. But once they decided to give us this, I was like, wow, I really need that. So taking the axe off, that I don't really care for this axe. But anyway, once they decided to give us this whole trailer here, I'm like, wow, this looks great now. So that takes away from this wheel problem that I have in the front, because now it actually looks like kind of like he looked in the cartoon, which was really cool for them to do. And I said, I always wished that Hasbro would have done this right away and just gave us like a commander class of this maybe, or a leader if they could do it. Anyway, but speaking of all the stuff on this thing, you can literally just take this thing and you can just go and move this thing up and down. You got these, you can turn and do whatever you want with. You know, you got all kinds of options here. And it is a parts former, yes, because you got all this stuff in here. You can see the fists there, the hammer's in here, the hammer, the actual hammer pipes or handles or whatever, they slide right in through there, and you get this. You can see on the back, you got the blast, you know, the jet pack or whatever. If I don't trip it over and knock it over, anyway. But yeah, you can see a lot of stuff going on here. Everything tightly fits together, and it all has its own place that it has to go. So you have to just kind of put everything in its proper place. But yeah, it's nice. I kind of wish that we had thicker wheels, but I also wish we had thicker wheels on this version here, because the animated version had a lot thicker wheels. It was much more quality than this version, actually, I think. So that's really my qualm with this version of Optimus Prime, is the animated version seemed like more quality in it than this version that's today's version, you know? So it's weird that back then they could figure out how to do more quality than now. But that being said, like I said, this thing is I just love this version here, okay? And seeing that it's all, you know, put together properly now, it just looks so good. Now, my table is not exactly flat, so I can't get this. I don't think it's going to roll properly on these two wheels, because this wheel and this wheel is touching, and this magical wheel in the front here is touching, and these two are touching, but not these two really, because I feel like it's like at an angle a little bit. Maybe I did something wrong. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. This is just going to sit on a shelf. And if you want, you could just take it apart like this, take it off. There is no like trailer hitch type of thing where it like holds it up, but you can see underneath here, you can see what's underneath there and how it looks on the side. Anyway, you could definitely see how everything kind of fits together and kind of just kind of tightly packs inside there. But, and like these things here, they just flip up and down, you know. But I just love how this thing looks, because this is something you would see in the cartoon. Like, he would literally become a fire engine in the cartoon, and he literally had this type of stuff going for him. And for this to turn into the wing jetpack type of thing, that like the super version of Optimus Prime, that just is adding to the need to buy this. I mean, that is just awesome. But yeah, you can just, all you have to do is take these holes in this thing. My dog hair's in there. Anyway, and then you can just take and plug those into the posts, and just like that, it's Optimus Prime as a fire truck, which is very, very cool. I can't tell you how cool this looks to me once he has this fire truck mode. I mean, the only thing that's kind of missing maybe is this going up, and then this should be able to turn left and right maybe, but that's about it. Other than that, it's a great version of him. Anyway, so this is the animated version. The only reason I'm showing this off is just to show that I put his actual mouth guard on. And also you can take this visor thing that I showed off a little bit in the beginning, and you can take that and just put it on him. I believe it goes like this. Anyway, now here we go. So the visor's on. I really don't know how to keep these things from falling over. Anyway, so, and falling again, everything. Okay, so there's the visor on. As you can see his face there with the visor on. Anyway, and that's just how it looks. Okay, here's the power link, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call this form. The Super Prime version, I don't know what they call it. Anyway, this is the cool version of Optimus Prime. I'll just call it that. Because this looks so good. Like, this is like the whole reason. I can't tell you. I mean, I said it before. This is the reason why I bought animated Optimus Prime. Now, once again, this axe, I don't really like it. I really don't like this axe. I think it's too short, and there's just a little too many. It's just kind of dumb. So let's put that aside. But yeah, you can plug that in the bottom down here. Anyway, and then you got this giant thing on the back here that you can plug in there. There's so many options for this, though. I mean, you can literally take these guns and put them up here, and you can like unplug them from his hand, but and you can just plug them up here. So he's got super weapons, like super guns up there, and you can just literally just put them however you want. You know, you can kind of do it whatever way you want. He's got pivoting ankles too, so you can do that. Anyway, and this whole thing, now this opens up, and you can, I'm not going to be able to do it without making the whole video, making everything fall apart. Ah, jeez. Anyway, yeah, his hand opens up too, but his fingers are not individually articulated. But anyway, this opens, and you can store this like thing in here. I think it goes in this one maybe. Anyway, it goes in there somehow, some way. Anyway, you could store it in there. And then you just take, I mean, and the face plate too. But I don't want to put that in there because I always want the face plate to be on him. So anyway, that's a good place to have storage. And you got a little rattle. So anyway, this is the giant hammer. But looking at this guy without the hammer, I mean, I kind of wish that he would get a normal gun, like a regular Optimus Prime gun. But the animated one never really had that either. But anyway, this guy just looks imposing and powerful the way he just looks. So I really just love that look that they got there going. Let's just throw in here Ultra Magnus, because he's kind of the big standard for the commander class, I guess. So yeah, you get Ultra Magnus next to him, and you could definitely see Ultra Magnus is bigger, but not by a whole bunch, especially with all the guns and all the things going on. Let's compare it to Commander class Optimus Prime, the G1, amazing, awesome version. Anyway, and yeah, he's closer to that size. Now keep in mind, this is a Voyager, so I have two of them. So anyway, I'll show you. See, that's how big they stand, you know, next to each other with the Commander class and the animated Voyager form version of him. Anyway, so that's what that's like. So then you could have them standing next to the Armada one, which this is one of my favorite versions of Optimus Prime. I don't care about Armada, but I care about that Optimus Prime a lot. So anyway, so you can kind of get them standing together and kind of get a good overview of how these guys look. But yeah, this guy looks great. I've said that 45,000 times now. Whenever we get an Ultra Magnus that's animated, I'm pretty sure that he will get this. And hopefully one day we get a Armada version, or hopefully one day we get a animated version of animated Megatron as well. And I hope that he can be about pretty big anyway, because he was bigger than animated Optimus Prime in the cartoon. So maybe he'll stand about this height. Who knows? But anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a quick review of this thing, kind of show it off, tell you what I thought. Obviously, I like it. Said that a million times. So anyway, tell me what you think about this thing in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.